Today on Photowalks, we are back in New Mexico, specifically Santa Fe and Taos, which is home to some of the most striking architecture you will see anywhere, a thriving food scene, and of course, some of the best light for vacation photos you'll find anywhere in the world. I'm Jefferson Graham. I'm a lifelong photographer and journalist. On Photowalks, we visit the world's most photographable places. I'll take you around on a virtual photo walk and show you how to get great images, vacation photos, on your phone.
I do believe color was invented in New Mexico. It's the color that attracts so many photographers and artists in general because of our light.
Before we get started, 3 very important things to do. Number 1 is your phone at full power. I need you to be at 100% so you'll have enough juice to take photos and videos. Number 2, can you find room on your phone to take photos and videos? Do you have enough storage? Be sure to go to Settings, General, and check out your phone storage. If you don't have room, make some. Number 3, is your phone lens dirty? The camera lens. It usually is because it's rustling around in our pockets and purses. Clean it off with a nice cloth, or if need be, just use your shirt or jacket.
You're not going to see another state capital that looks like this. Santa Fe is the antithesis of the modern city. You know, the ones with all those big office buildings. Think Miami with its Art Deco, the cobblestone streets of Charleston, and the wrought iron balconies of New Orleans. Well, Santa Fe has its own unique look, unlike anywhere else, that makes it a joy to photograph, like all those adobes and buildings that are hundreds of years old.
Santa Fe is very full of culture. It's very full of great people. I think most of the time people come here just for our culture, for the experience, for the Native American experience, for the Spanish culture and the Native American culture, our food, the art. There's just so much to see and do here.
Santa Fe, of course, is a perfect place for a photo walk. The city reminds us it's a walking city, and there's no need to drive around in town. So what better place to start our walk then? Right here.
It's here on the plaza where you will find all of your iconic Santa Fe vacation photos in one spot. I mean, there's a lot to Santa Fe, but everything will begin here. Just walk around the plaza and the side streets and look at what you can pick up.
So for our virtual photo walk, start on any side of the plaza, walk all 4 sides, and hit those side streets to explore. You've got the oldest building in continuous use, the Palace of the Governors, and the Native American vendors decked out in front selling jewelry. Wonderful vintage churches from the San Miguel Mission, the world's oldest, to the Loretto Chapel just up the street with that circular staircase. You've got Ristras, those dried chilies that hang outside the front door of seemingly every residence in Santa Fe, and of course, whatever else meets your eyes. It's time for some photo tips. Photographing the plaza is not an easy thing to do because it's so big. It's just really hard to get a shot of all 4 sides. So your best bet is to just pick a prime spot and focus on that. The side views from the Palace of Governors is one of the most popular, or the corner of San Francisco Street and Old Santa Fe Trail by La Fonda Hotel, looking back at the Cathedral Basilica of St. Francis. Don't forget to use your 1x lens for both shots.
If you've watched Photowalks before, you know that I always say that the best time for photography for your vacation photos is either early in the morning or later in the day. Golden hour, blue hour, magic hour, whatever you want to call it, and of course your sunsets. Well, in Santa Fe, Taos, New Mexico, I'm going to be a little different here. Daytime, midday, is when you will get your best shots. Once the beloved sun starts to beam down on these great old historic buildings and really put a shine on them and bring out the colors and the big, bright blue sky, bluer than in many other places. Now, midday or morning, take a look back to back, see what you think. At the square, we met a local tour guide who walked us over to the world's oldest church, the San Miguel Mission.
The Pueblo people lived here. We're above the Santa Fe River, so 1,000 years ago. When they settled here, though, they built this San Miguel Chapel in 1610 to serve this neighborhood of locals. So when you come to one of the traditions coming to Santa Fe and San Miguel Mission, the oldest church, is to hit that bell means you'll return to Santa Fe if you hit that bell.
Your photo tips for photographing the churches. Be the first person to enter and you won't get people in your shot. Now, if you're a late sleeper and you do show up later, well, there are now simple AI fixes available from Google, Samsung, and Apple. They all have tools to erase people out of your shot instantly. On recent iPhone 15 Pros and 16 models, click Edit, use the cleanup tool, use your finger to identify the unwanted object or person, and then watch it disappear. I have more details on how to do this on our website at PhotowalksTV.com, so check it out.
Across the street is what's called the oldest house, the de Varga residence, which dates back to the 1600s, before the birth of the United States of America. And if you don't believe it, just look at the proof that is in the windows right here.
Take a step inside and imagine what life must have been like for a family in this tiny adobe Pueblo-style home some 400 years ago. Your tip for photographing the oldest house is to go ultra wide. That's usually called the 0.5 on your phone. It's very cramped in there and you're going to need as much room as you can, so ultra wide should bring in more of the image than the 1X. Beyond the plaza, Canyon Road is less than a mile away and home to over 100 art galleries and shops. It's the art center of Santa Fe.
A little known fact is that Santa Fe is the second largest art culture in the United States, second only to New York City. If you compare the population of New York City and the population of Santa Fe, that's saying a lot.
Beyond the 100 galleries on Canyon Road and, of course, all the galleries around the plaza, there is the electric art called Meow Wolf. 70 rooms of digital electric art. This is sort of like a haunted house of art, all these different rooms. It started in Santa Fe and has since expanded to Las Vegas, Denver, Houston, and Grapevine, Texas. Watch me enter another world through a refrigerator. Thank you very much. Your Meow Wolf photo tip? Shoot video. It is so wild in here that a still photo just does not do it justice. Be sure to shoot it ultra wide at 0.5 and horizontal, please, so we can see as much of the image as possible. Speaking of art, you've got to consider the red chili as probably the most common piece of art that you're going to see anywhere in Santa Fe.
The chili ristra is a traditional New Mexican utilitarian object, a big symbol of Santa Fe, a big symbol of that kind of southwestern aesthetic.
Sure.
Part of our cuisine. It's really hand in hand with New Mexican food, which is very different from Mexican food, a lot of chili. I myself prefer green, however, you can't go wrong with Christmas.
The trick on shooting chilies is to do it all. Start with a big wide shot and then get really tight. Use your telephoto if you can to get close. If you don't have the telephoto, use the macro, which is on most of the phones, and you'll see as you get closer in, the little yellow flower goes on and it really looks cute.
How to go macro, you ask? Very simple. Go on the 1X lens and just move the phone as close as you can until that flower or another symbol, depending on which phone you have, comes on. And my vote, thanks for asking, is for macro. Wide shot looks beautiful, but getting really tight just does it for me.
Like 5 years. A long time.
So I just showed you chilies at a farmer's market. There's also all those hanging chilies, which are everywhere. When photographing the hanging chilies, remember that lighting is everything. My shots of them in bright sunlight look absolutely horrid. Stepping into the shade really helped a lot, as did the side lighting. As always, keep moving around and just experiment until you get it right. For all of my close-ups of the chilies, I think actually nothing beats the classic wide shot of them hanging outside the home. From the Burrito Company in Santa Fe, New Mexico. When in Santa Fe, 3 chili cheeseburger. Huh? Wow, that's great. So for those all-important food shots, I recommend trying to take as many as possible at lunch in a well-lit restaurant in the front by the window with as much daylight as possible. It will really help out. If you are in a dark restaurant, well, use the flashlight from a friend or partner on their phone to help you light up the food. Hold it at an angle right above or on the side. It really makes a difference.
What goes well with your chilies? Well, locals have a thing called the Margarita Trail.
Margaritas and New Mexican food go hand in hand together.
Local trivia, Santa Fe was the first place tequila was exported to from Mexico.
The tequila brings out the spice and the New Mexican food and all the flavors.
We stopped into the Cowgirl Barbecue to watch as the bartender made his specialty drink and told us all about it.
We always start with some ice. And then we use the Dulce Vida. It's organic tequila in ours. And then we use the Grand Marnier. And then we always use a little splash of our house-made sour mix, which is fresh lemon juice, fresh lime juice, and simple syrup. And then we squeeze half an orange. And a half a lime. And then you always have to give it a good shake. And then we do our Cadillac with a chili salt brim.
And you know what goes really well with a margarita? How about a great Santa Fe sunset?
There are a lot of great spots to see a sunset in Santa Fe. This is one of them, the Cross of the Martyrs. It's a little park right up the hill from the plaza, really easy to get to. And from here, you can look out all across Santa Fe and beyond. This is one of the great spots. We're going to check out the sunset here and then go to another one. For that one, we're going to have to take a ride to, so stay tuned for that.
The Sky Railway offers a sunset serenade with a 2-hour train ride with live music. This is a 2-hour excursion through the Santa Fe countryside with the highlight, pulling your phone out in the open-air car and getting some really cool snaps of the desert landscape at magic hour. Finally, during the spring, summer, and fall, you can't beat the Bell Tower Rooftop Lounge at the La Fonda Hotel for a great overhead view of Santa Fe and its environs. Your sunset tips are pretty simple, and you've probably heard me say it a million times. Don't be in a rush to leave. The best colors usually come out 10 to 15 minutes after the sun sets. In the case of the Cross of the Martyrs, waiting around enabled me to get the city lights too, and I'm really glad that I waited.
It's all about the light here. Well, being at such a high altitude, you have a lighter atmosphere, the colors are brighter, the light is crisp and clean, and there's a lot of contrast. You know, the browns and the greens and the blues all kind of complement each other so beautifully.
When in New Mexico, we stayed at the Hotel Santa Fe right in the center of town. Happens to be a Native American-owned institution.
Moan, welcome to Santa Fe.
Photo tip, when you're staying in a fabulous place that happens to have a balcony that just happens to be overlooking an incredible adobe building, well, then you know it's time-lapse time. Put the phone on a tripod if you have one and open up the time-lapse app and let her rip. For more info on how to make time-lapse videos, check out our time-lapse guide right here on the channel.
And best time of the year to come?
I would say September for me. September, October, I think it's this nice crisp air, this change of the seasons, the leaves. It's a nice time to be in Santa Fe. I think my favorite.
That's a wrap for today's episode of Photowalks. If you haven't done it already, do me a favor, please subscribe to this channel. Please stay tuned for more episodes. We have plenty more from New Mexico, plenty more from all over the country, all over the world. I'm Jefferson Graham, and I'll see you, everyone, on the next Photowalk. Bye-bye.